There is a podcast no one asked for. A podcast you never knew you didn't want. 3 beers in. This is the podcast.
I anticipate a deeply religious experience.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for another episode of 3 Beers In. Today we're on location at Rahr Brewing. This is Ross, and with me is...
This is Chance.
And today we have our guests. We have...
Samantha Glenn with Funky Picnic Brewery and Cafe.
And...
Alyssa Red with Rahr and Sons Brewing.
Yeah, we're excited to get started. We have our first beer. Did you want to talk about it? Or?
Sure. This is called Paleta de Mango. We just came out with it this year in the spring. And it was inspired by a Mexican paleta with chili and a little bit of lime. We originally brewed it as a collaboration with a brewery in Mexico last year, I think. And it's kind of a thing that the Department of Agriculture sets up for us.
Oh, yeah. I guess it would have to.
Yeah. So they sent a brewer here. We sent a brewer there. And then it was presented at the Cerveza Mexico. I'm not positive that that's what the festival is called, actually. But we did this beer for that. And then we ended up brewing it ourselves, and we put it out in the market because everybody seemed to love it.
Yeah.
And I am also one of those people.
Okay.
It's delicious.
It's 5% alcohol, and
Nice.
it is brewed with mango puree, pekin chili, and lime.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, everybody, you want to crack open your cans?
Let's do it.
Wait, Chance, you ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
All right.
All right!
It's very nice.
Oh, yeah.
You get a lot of the mango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That chili likes to build. So you continue drinking. It's
always-
good. This has been my beer of the summer, which
This is
in
definitely
Texas
some-
is 10 months. So
Yeah.
pretty much a year-round
All
beer.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are making it year-round, which was
Oh, cool.
a surprise to a lot of people. They thought
Yeah.
it was going to go away. So we're excited about it. I always like to tell people the mango's the flavor, the chili's a feeling. So it might start to catch up with you.
Yeah, I think after the second drink.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of the chili.
More chili,
now.
yeah.
I don't get a lot of the lime, but I think it maybe is just there to balance the other flavors.
Yeah, I think you use a lime with other citrus a lot of times to kind of...
Help balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut through some of the sweetness, but yeah.
Exactly. It's not like drinking mango juice.
Like
Though
you do.
Also, the bottom of the keg tastes like mango juice anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I want that bottom. Yeah.
I love the word cerveza. Such a good word. I'm going to name my child cerveza. Or cerveza.
Well, I thought it was Billy.
I do want to name my son Billy.
Billy Barunda.
Billy Barunda. I just think the girls would really like Billy Barunda. I have a lot of girlfriends. Yeah.
Or a girl.
Or a girl. That's cool.
A girl named Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy works as a girl's name.
It's a really good... I like that as a girl's name as well.
You could get real Texan and say Billy Joe.
Billy Joe.
Oh.
Yeah.
That might be too far.
Too far? Okay.
I got a Joe middle name.
You do? My
Yeah.
mom's middle name is Joe.
Yeah.
Is it just spelled? How's it spelled?
J-O.
That's how my mom's middle
Except
name is
for
spelled.
my dad spelled it wrong my entire childhood.
Really?
I have physical things that are just Sammy with an I, should be a Y, and Joe, J-O-E. He just, I think it was a fight, and I think he just kept doing it to annoy my mom. They divorced when I was really young, so it was just whatever he could do. They got along. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
My mom grew up as Kimmy Joe, so that
Kimmy
was
Jo.
that was
Nice.
her name. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then I didn't get a middle name.
You didn't get one?
No.
No. Yeah, we have to give him one.
Yeah.
At some point.
I've been thinking about it for 34 years.
Yeah.
Should your middle name be Billy?
Chance
Joe.
Billy. Joe.
James Joe. No, I don't know.
It's too hard to choose. It's much easier when someone else chooses
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
All right. So Samantha or Sam or Sammy Joe.
All of the above. Samsonite.
Samsonite. I was way off.
So how did Funky Picnic get started?
There's a lot of factors that went into that. We have 4 founders. The 4 of us all met through outdoor intramural sports.
Okay.
So I met one of the founders, John Koch, playing kickball. He started dating his now wife, Jenny,
Yeah.
and she started playing kickball with us. And then I met Colin Zreet, my other founder, through Ultimate Frisbee. And then we found out that he went to high school with Jenny. So we kind of had this big thing. All of us, that I had started brewing with John and Jenny, and Colin was already brewing, and we kind of all came together, started entering competitions,
Yeah.
and people had great reactions to our beer. If you go back to even before we were homebrewing, before I was homebrewing,
Yeah.
I actually just went to San Francisco, went to some brew pubs and said, Fort Worth needs this. Fort Worth needs more of this.
Right.
And I had already looked into it some. The beer laws in Texas sucked
Yeah.
because this was probably 7 years ago.
That's a pretty common recurring theme on this
Yeah.
podcast.
It's
Yeah.
gotten a little better, but so yeah, about 5 years ago when they changed to increase the limits of the capacity of brew pubs, it made it more economically feasible
Right.
to be a brew pub, restaurant and brewery. So I've been pushing them since we've been home brewing that after a year or so, hey, do we want to do a brew pub? We want to make this a business? 3 engineers out of the 4.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty risk averse. So nobody was really willing to take that. And I finally convinced them. And we did the research because we're engineers and kind of finally made it start to happen last year.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I guess maybe you touched on this, but did you have like any goals or like lofty aspirations when you decided to actually do it to start?
Don't fail.
Okay.
I feel like that's pretty lofty. We did, so my main business partner is Colin, and he has an MBA, and so he's helped a lot with the business side of
Yeah.
it. I have experience in management, and we'll be the general manager once we open. We'll actually be hiring both a brewer and a chef so that they can focus on their job, and
Yeah.
I can just make everything flow.
Right.
But really, it was okay. Restaurants have, you have to look at it as your restaurant as well as a brewery, and restaurants have a pretty high failure rate.
Right.
But actually, when you combine it with a brewery, it helps
Oh,
bring
yeah.
that failure
Okay.
rate down. So we just looked at a lot of that stuff. We spent a lot of time on the business plan, and before we even moved forward, just doing a lot of that research and making sure it made sense. And then we also said, well, if we can't get the funding, we're not going to move forward. Like, we're not going to just try and nickel and dime it and then hope the money comes later. We're going to try and get it all up front. Mm-hmm. And we were able to do that. So we said, okay, people believe in this.
That's
It
smart.
can actually happen.
Yeah.
We're not just fooling ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we just have to deliver, which we're working on.
So yeah, you mentioned restaurant and brewery. What was the idea there? Did you originally want to do a restaurant and a brewery, or what? Why serve food?
Why serve food?
Why take on all that extra burden?
Yeah.
Making
Alyssa,
and
how easy
preparing
is it to
food.
deal with food trucks?
Probably just about as difficult as building a menu.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Could have saved some time.
Yeah.
I can totally agree with you on that. I have very little experience trying to book food trucks and work with that. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that on a weekly basis.
No, hire somebody you trust. They'll come to work every day. A food
Yeah.
truck has no obligation to be
Right.
here at all.
And they break down, and it's hard to get somebody. And y'all are only open 2 days a week. But if you try and book somebody to be there all the time that you're open, it's actually really difficult. And they usually only have limited supplies of food.
Right,
Also,
that makes
that
sense.
food isn't paired to your beer at all.
Right.
So with having a kitchen, we can actually bring ingredients from the brew house, like the spent grain into our
Right,
bread,
yeah.
or beer butters or beer cheese, different things like
Nice,
that.
yeah.
And then actually take some of the ingredients that you're using in the kitchen and bring it into the beers.
yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
gone to some food vendor shows and seen things like, ooh, what's this fruit? Like a gooseberry. Ooh, I bet I could make a beer out of that. Like,
Well,
just kind
there-
of getting inspiration.
There are a few gooseberry
I mean-
hops.
So just things like that, trying to do that. But really the main point is creating a space. My favorite thing is for somebody to tell me they don't like beer, because then I want to try and find a beer.
Yeah,
So
that they like.
this
Yeah.
isn't, this Paleta de Mango, it's not what you think of when you think of beer. You think of Coors Light or you think of an IPA for most people.
Yeah.
We're all beer nerds, so we have a lot wider range. But
You're
craft beer's
absolutely correct on
craft
that.
beer is
Yeah.
still less than 15% of the total beer marketplace. And then
Right.
you have people that don't even drink beer. So I think our whole thing is a craft beer for every taste. So if we can create a whole bunch of different styles, we have a beer that tastes like apple pie, a 5 chili double IPA, a bourbon pecan porter, all of those beers.
Yeah.
If you can create all of those things, somebody's not going to come in and likely like every beer because it's such a wide range of flavors, but we want to try
you
and
want to
find
have something for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of our whole thing. And the best way to do that is by creating an atmosphere that they're already comfortable in, which is a restaurant.
Right. Okay.
So if you come in, my grandma would be more comfortable coming into a restaurant than to
just
a
a brewery,
production brewery like this. She has somewhere comfortable to sit. There's AC or heating in the winter, and it's more of a family-friendly environment. We'll have a kids menu. We'll have high chairs, all of those things so that the whole family can be there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think you touched on this, but you're going to have pairings, or you set up your menu to pair it with a specific beer like that. Yeah.
We'll have suggested beer pairings, whether it's styles or actual beers. Since we're going to rotate a lot, it may just depend. We may just say which styles would pair well, so that we're not constantly changing the food menu as we change the beers.
Well, if you have TVs for food menus, then it's really easy.
Sounds like somebody wants to donate some TVs and software.
Ross.
And then
I did see this.
I did say that. What? Did I? No.
Like on Untapped alternative that's runs on Raspberry Pi, like super easy to set up.
Oh wow!
I keep meaning to research it, but I don't know enough about the computer side of it to be as excited as I am.
All right.
So, how did you guys hook up with each other or
hook up? Don't give all our secrets away.
Okay. Let me reword that.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
His fiance doesn't know about that.
We met through Pink Boots about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. I think I finally gave in and started going in July of 2017. And then we just were seeing each other at meetings, and now she's like my right-hand man.
There you go.
She really helps a lot with it, and she's one of a few female brewery openers, really business owners. We have a lot of women who have opened craft
growler bars.
Yeah, I could not think of the word growler to save my life right now.
It's only the first beer.
I know, but it's Friday.
Yeah. There you go.
So it's just been awesome to watch her grow through her business. And probably my enthusiasm about our friendship has grown immensely because of that. I just love knowing where she's at in her business plan and learning about how she's doing these things.
Okay.
I think my favorite part about the brewery community is the community feel that is there. I met Samantha at Hop Fusion, and I'm sitting there trying to talk to the Hop Fusion bartender. Sorry to talk about another brewery. But because of the community feel, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to tell him, man, you guys have really good beers, because I had never had their beers before. And he's like, well, he goes, we don't have the best beers in town. And he's pointing at someone else. And I'm like, I'm trying to give you a compliment. And then here we are doing a podcast at another brewery with her. And I just think it's a really cool thing that you guys all support each other. It's not just here in Fort Worth. It's in Austin. I think as a big idea that, one brewer is...
It's like you can't succeed if you're cutthroat about it.
Right, yeah.
It's like everybody's in it together.
I think that's been proven by several local or hyper-local breweries that have kind of not been able to grow out of their space because they are...
trying to do it all on their own. Yeah. I'm trying. Yeah.
Also on that topic, I went to GABF, or Great American Beer Fest, in September.
Never heard of it.
I know. It's a surprise to everyone. But I have said it time and time again how the energy in that room was just amazing whenever they were announcing the awards. I think I hugged somebody
Everybody's just
from
so happy for everybody.
Some random brewery in Michigan that won, because you're just crying because you just feel all this energy and excitement even whenever it's not you that's winning.
Yeah.
So
it's such a breath of fresh air, because you coming from a different industry that I was in, in a retail public selling industry, or whatever you want to call it. We literally worked for one company, and the other company would say, I'm not buying this from this vendor if you sell it to this other showroom.
Yeah.
And that's just how most other industries are. And it's cool to see the brewery industry doesn't
just so cooperative.
Brewery, Yeah, it's more about, and you see so many people that
More
used to
about
work.
everybody succeeding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, we used to have a brewery here. He started his brewery over there. Go check
Yeah.
this stuff out. Not like,
Unless you work for Toppling Goliath, and they won't let you do that.
oh, okay, there you go. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a brewery
that's-
in Iowa.
That's one of the things that drove me to it as well, to actually want to open the brew pub, was not only the quality and flavors of beers and having more people find those, but also just the fact that we had this welcoming community and wanting to share that with more people. I think you don't even have to work in the industry. Just being a purveyor of craft beer means that you're welcomed into that community, and everybody
Right,
wants
yeah,
to
yeah.
educate everyone and teach them more and show off their tools and their craft, and it's just a really cool place. I'm currently bartending at 2 other breweries that are helping me just so I can get more experience before we open and learn different management styles and taproom layouts and different things like that. And Hop Fusion, I can text them. Shoot, my contractor has 3 or 4 different breweries that I've introduced him to, has those brewers or owners' phone numbers, and will text them directly.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
What were you doing before you decided to get into?
So I'm still an engineer. I work at Alcon Laboratories,
right.
and I'm a biomedical engineer there. I've been there 10 years.
Wow.
But I think I just kind of said, okay, I've been there 10 years, but I have 22 more years till early retirement. Yeah, I want to do something else.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
sit at a cubicle the rest of my life, and now's the time to try it. So
Right.
that was kind of the crossroads I came to last year and said, are we actually going to do this brewery, or am I going to do something else?
Yeah.
Not going to keep sitting at the cubicle. But I said, okay, let's go all in and do the brewery.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So we were talking about Pink Boots. So for everybody not familiar, what is Pink Boots Society? What do you do? What's the goal, really? I mean,
So the Pink Boots Society was created almost 11 years ago by Terry, can you say her name? Berendorf?
I'm not actually positive how you say that.
Okay.
I've only read
I
it.
think it's Berendorf.
person. Another
Yes.
But she started the Pink Boots Society, and it's a group for women that make, I think now it's 20 or 25% of your living from the brewing industry.
Oh, okay.
That you
Specifically craft beer.
yes,
Right.
Currently.
craft beer.
Wait, so Coors Light, they're not?
We have actually had somebody
Oh.
join who worked for Miller, and she got approved to be in. But I think the general idea is the more community,
Yeah.
localized kind of thing. But as more smaller breweries are becoming part of larger things, I think their definition of everything that is necessary to be in Pink Boots is kind of growing as well.
Okay.
yeah, it's changed. It used to just be if you made any money that you could join. So you could even just say, hey, if you helped your husband with the books, have him write you a check for 1 cent, and that's you making an income. But as it's grown, and it's grown bigger and bigger, and it's all across the world, they've had to create kind of some more rules just to help manage it, from just so that they can actually still create a good experience. But it's relatively inexpensive for you to join for your annual membership. It's going up to $45 a year, but that's so that you can help support not only the national chapter, but some of that money will go back to our local chapter coming in the coming years. And there's national scholarships, and we're working on doing more local scholarships as well. So it's all about educating the women, and then also the community around you. So a lot of our educational opportunities are open to the public, men and women, not just women. And we do collaboration brew days. We have that coming up in March that we're just starting to plan. And it's really just, to me, besides those opportunities, connecting and networking with people, especially when you're in a metroplex as large as DFW.
Yeah.
It can be hard for me to get to know somebody that works at 903 Brewing in Sherman, but I've got to meet
Sasquatch.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to meet Brittany, who is just this amazing personality and salesperson. And she's brewing some beers up there. The women up there are brewing some beers as well for 903. And so all across the Metroplex, and people that are making soaps out of beer ingredients, out of hops and hop oils and things.
Cool.
Or so maybe not directly working for a brewery or a craft beer bar, but they're using this industry and those ingredients to really help. It's really cool to see everybody's passion for beer.
Cool. Yeah.
Thanks for taking care of that one.
So, how are you feeling on this beer so far? I'm almost done. Are you,
Yeah.
Are you done yet?
Almost.
Just-
But the spice there really, kind of builds up. If I drank it faster, it'd probably be hotter. I'd actually probably prefer more mango, but I'm a mango fan, so.
Oh, okay. I really feel like there's a lot of mango in there. That's just my opinion. I can feel the chili on my lips. Is that anyone else doing that?
I get it more
Not
at the
yet.
back
I
of
get
the
it. I
throat.
get it like the back of my tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily spicy. It's somewhere the taste.
I think you're drinking it wrong.
Yeah. You don't pour it on your mouth?
We actually have done like a lot of tasting panels for it, and at one point we did one that was like, here's it with this much mango
Uh-huh.
that we put in the market. Here's it with 10% less. Here's it with 25% more. Things like that. But more mango has never been voted yet, so I know we gotta
No
get
mango
some
for
like
you.
sweeter taste buds in here.
I don't know. I like fruit beers, but I like fruity fruit beers. So,
Yeah.
so like, I don't want just a hint. I want fruit in your face. But yeah, I don't know. Like IPA levels of fruit. Like, that's probably a bad description, but
How many IBUs
but
of fruit do you want?
instead of hops, you have fruit. So, I don't know.
Ross has a peach beer.
Oh yeah, not currently with me, but yes. Yeah, it's a peach wheat with New Zealand hops and a Nordic farmhouse yeast.
Nice.
I'm thinking about changing the yeast though, because it gives it a funky aroma, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's not what I was looking for. So, but it ferments completely in 3 days, so it's just a workhorse. It's just crazy. But yeah, we're entered in competition this month, so
Nice.
hopefully, yeah. Still needs more peach though.
We do a peach saison.
Yeah.
Similar, but
It's easy to make fruit farmhouse.
It is.
I think, yeah.
And then
it really lends itself to.
we went with the funky, so
Yeah.
we aged it on Brett, and
Yeah.
we call it Funky Town
Yeah.
Peach.
Nice.
We had
Okay.
the
Love Brett. I had 2 Brett beers last night. Yeah.
It takes forever to make, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm like not a peach person, but we made
I'm not either.
a
But
ranch house is what we called it, ranch house peach
Yeah.
last year. That was like what I lived on all summer. But we didn't bring it back this year. I'm pretty upset.
I know
Oh,
you got
no.
Paleta.
I did. I won.
yeah. There you go.
I'm with you. I'm not a big peach person, but I mean, after having Ross's beer, and I know he feels like he's got some stuff to work on it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is really good. I didn't even like peaches.
Well, the new batch is better than the old
Yeah.
batch. So
Okay. Yeah.
so I brought some for you
Batch,
to try.
please.
So batch.
I
Exactly.
just got it.
So yeah, speaking of beer names, how do you come up with your names? Who names it? Is it you, or I mean, there's 4 of you, right?
Yeah, it's 4, and friends are always long, and
Yeah.
we kind of just do a community thing. So our base styles, we try and take inspiration from Fort Worth.
Right. Yeah.
for
Like
just,
Funky Picnic itself.
Yeah, so
like-
Funky Picnic calls into Funky Town without directly having that.
Yeah.
And then because we'll have sandwiches and appetizers and kind of picnic fare, that's where the picnic part comes from. But for the beer names, we really just take from forever. So our bourbon pecan porter is called Nuts to Kentucky, which was my friend's favorite cupcake at a cupcake shop in
Oh,
Fort
yeah.
Worth that shut down.
Oh, okay.
But it had pecans and bourbon frosting, and that's where she pulled that from.
Yeah.
Our chocolate peanut butter stout is one of my favorite names. Not everybody's, and it's called 2 peanut butters, 1 cup. So you may know where we got that inspiration from.
Actually, I don't.
No,
Just Google it.
No, I haven't even gone down that road. It's been out who knows how long.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's really just kind of bounce it around and see where we get some
Yeah.
thoughts. It's hard, but we make so many, since we're always wanting to try new beer styles and try new things, it gets harder and harder because we just make more and more beers. But
Right.
Yeah.
that's where we just ask more and more people.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what do you think we should name this?
We've been doing it for 14 years, and our method is basically the same.
Yeah.
Somebody says something like Adios Pantalones, and it sticks around until there's a beer that fits it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So you have the name first, And then you make the beer.
Sometimes.
That does happen sometimes. I've come up with some names that I've written in a note and just saved, and
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, if we ever do like
This
this,
needs
would do
to be
this
a
good
beer.
style. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
And sometimes you have recipes and you have to convince everyone to make them. I think it's been 3 years we've been trying to convince to make a ranch dressing inspired beer. Still hasn't happened. I'm going to make it happen.
I mean, I guess you could get the herbs and everything in there.
That's the thought. So inspired, not ranch dressing beer.
Yeah,
But
no, right.
The
yeah.
thought was like a cream ale with some dill.
Whenever I see
and-
delirium,
Ooh,
I
that
think
sounds
that
good.
it's ranch dressing because it comes in the white bottle with the black speck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be dill.
And then you can serve it with
Yeah.
There you go.
you could serve it with cheese fries,
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
well,
bacon
my
cheese
gosh.
fries.
Ooh, with
Oh.
jalapenos on top.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
in.
Spicy ranch.
So
Spicy ranch beer.
I don't want to give
Oh.
away all my secrets here, but I do say that if we make a beer, a ranch dressing inspired beer that
Yeah.
tastes good and is sellable, I am getting label approval, even though
Immediately.
we plan to serve most stuff in house and selling a keg to Cane Rosso because they will not sell ranch dressing with their pizza, but you can have a ranch dressing beer.
There you go.
It'll
I feel
complement
like that
nicely.
would be awesome.
Yeah. Everybody's going to want it.
We're gonna prove them all wrong, all those haters.
So, are you guys, when you brew your beers, are they just going to be on tap in house, or are you considering canning?
On tap in house is the plan. We
Yeah.
will have a crowler. So part of the picnic part too is that you can have your picnic with us or take it wherever your adventure takes
Okay.
you. So they're building a park right behind our building, and
Oh,
there's
nice.
going to be a dog park. You can actually drink in public in Fort Worth. And so you
okay.
can take the
Yep.
crowlers to go as long as the park isn't posted that you can't.
Right. No, that makes
If there
sense.
not anything posted, that means, and it's a public park, then it is legal to drink there responsibly. So we're all about taking that with you so we can package the sandwiches and the crowlers of beer so you can take that elsewhere. But we only have a
Nice.
7-barrel system, so it's only a little over 200 gallons a batch. And
Right.
we really want to focus on the customer interaction and getting that feedback and those connections. And
Okay.
there's plenty of people like Rahr and Martin House and Hop Fusion that are doing a great job distributing in our area. And a lot of those opened before you could have this more intimate experience based
Yeah.
off the laws that were passed more recently. So we want to focus more on that local community aspect.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's smart. You're focusing on, hey, come in and experience this experience. You know, we got people out there doing the distributing. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I forgot what the question was I was going to ask.
Okay.
Cool story.
So you so you have a 7-barrel system, and I mean, Dogfish, they started out with I think 3 kegs. So I mean, I think it just leads
It's a lot
you.
smaller state.
Yeah. First state. But I think it really leads you to be able to brew, more batches and different stuff and changing it up every time, which is what they did with Dogfish Head. So
Yeah, and we'll have a pilot system as well. So we want to keep 12 to 15 taps on at all times.
Oh, nice.
And you can't do that with a 30-barrel system
Yeah.
unless you have a big warehouse like this
Yeah.
that we're in right now, because that's a lot of beer, and you're going to have to sell it out somewhere else as well as keeping it on tap. And then that has production schedules and what's actually selling in the marketplace. It makes it a lot harder to kind of have that diversity. So how long out do you think that you guys have to schedule your beer production?
Oh gosh.
Like it's almost a year.
Yeah. The idea of it, yes. And then each month it gets like a little more specific based on
yeah.
what are our distributors coming in. I mean, we set up meetings with distributors now for next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it kind of doesn't allow for, a lot of flexibility. If you have a new beer style that all of a sudden gets really popular,
Brute.
New England style IPAs.
You got Brute
Yeah,
now.
and now Brute.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's going to have the same
No, probably not.
popularity
I don't
as the
think so.
New England style IPA. It's a
Everybody's
bit
got
more niche.
everybody's got one in Austin now.
But yeah. It's a lot easier for us to be able to put that in and just keep it on until if it's a fad, then it goes away. If it's not, we just keep it on.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot harder for the production breweries to be able to get that in, especially for beers that have a short shelf life, like the New England style and hazy IPAs.
Right, yeah, because you have to deal with freshness, and I mean you got a lot of hop flavor, but in a couple weeks most of that's gonna fall out, and you're not gonna have any of it.
And the extra hops make it expensive to be
Yeah,
able to make
no,
that
yeah.
large of a quantity
Right.
if you don't know how long it's actually going to sell.
Yeah,
That's kind of
True.
crazy to me. So it's not a long process to make an IPA. right?
No.
But then it doesn't
turn and
doesn't have
burn.
a high shelf life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, you want to drink it as soon as possible.
Which is kind of weird because of how IPAs came about, but
And I mean, hops,
that was the
like the
bitterness
more
side, right?
hops that you
Yeah.
have, the more bacteria they'll kill off. I don't know. Originally, I guess that's what hops had the astringency, but I don't know. I guess that's not really what it's about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you guys have a lager, then I'm in. Not really. I love all kinds of beers.
Yeah.
Is it beer number 2 time for everyone?
are we
They-
ready for this?
Pop it. So, Alyssa, how did you get into working with Rahr and working in a brewery?
Well, I was working at an accounting firm, and I was pretty unhappy. But I was working from home. I know, surprise, surprise. Accounting firms aren't fun. But I was working from home, so I had a lot of free time.
You can count on that.
It's very calculating of you.
It's that same joke again. Right?
It really fell flat both times. So I saw a posting from Rahr that they were looking for brand ambassadors to just kind of go out and do their demos
Right,
and things like that. So I picked up on that, and they were like, well, you live really far away. So wait until our Dallas rep comes back from maternity leave, and then maybe she'll want you to do some demos out there.
Yeah.
So I waited. She came back. She was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, and I'd really love to like work at the brewery one day. And so then I guess I got hired and started Memorial Day. That's May Memorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorial Day
Yeah.
of 2016. And by the first weekend of October, I was working full time
Oh, nice.
doing sales, and then moved into the social media role. So
Cool.
it was just like my love for beer
Yeah.
and my desire to get the heck out of accounting.
Is there a certain brewery or a certain beer that got you into beer?
So of course I like really liked Blood and Honey
Oh, yeah.
before it kind of changed a little bit, in my opinion.
Oh,
But
oh.
It did. Wait, here's
it
what.
gave me hangovers like after a little while.
Right.
At first I was fine, but then maybe it was just because I got older.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think my opinion has always been that once they started canning it, it was not a beer for cans. So
That's fair.
I go back and
That's why you
drink
buy it
out
in
of a
bottles.
bottle,
Yeah.
and it's still the same beer to me.
I've never had it out of a can.
Now in the can, I don't for whatever reason, maybe just I don't know.
Was as Grant said, the everybody wants cans. That's what the market is after.
I'm not
I mean,
everybody.
We couldn't agree
Well.
on anything. It's that almost everybody wants honey beers. I
Yeah.
do not like honey beers, but
Oh, I hate honey. Which
Yeah.
is weird, but
No, I'm
But
I'm
Blood
totally
and
with
Honey
you.
and
Hey, honey.
Don't tell
Staycation,
Jessica Alba
which is
that.
kind of funny. Is she the right one?
No, yeah.
Okay.
No,
Is that J Lo? I don't remember.
very few
One of-
people ever
one of
ever
the
saw that
J's.
movie.
But yeah, Staycation was the other one that really got me, which both now they've been bought. So,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously those beers were good enough that somebody wanted them. So,
Everybody wanted them.
yeah. I really like Staycation though. I still drink that every
Yeah.
time it's out. Apparently I liked wheat beers, but I really never
Yeah.
drink our wheat beer here.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I love wheat beers, but I think it's a really good foundation for building a beer from. It's like you can add so much to it. I mean, you don't really want to hide the wheat. You just kind of want to accentuate it. Like if you made a mango wheat, and like any fruit beer, I think wheat really just like pairs well with that. So you can kind of like push it out of the way so that the fruit stands out, or you can like accentuate it. But yeah.
It kind of gives it that heavier mouthfeel
Yeah.
to balance the
Yeah.
sweetness of the fruit.
Oh, and Blood and Honey, of course, is a wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I got here.
what are the future plans of Rahr?
Well, we're still growing to different states,
Mm-hmm.
and right now we're not producing full to what we can. So we'll just keep expanding until we are, and then we'll have to add more tanks and things like that.
Are you in states other than Texas right now?
We are.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't think I knew that.
Really? We are in.
I'm trying to get Texas beers all over the U.S.,
Yeah.
all over the world,
Exactly.
in space.
We may never get there. That takes a lot of organization. But we're in Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, Louisiana,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tennessee, and maybe one other place. Arkansas? Did I say that? Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Or Kansas?
And so we're really targeting to be in New Mexico sometime in 2019.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, you'd probably have to use Hatch chilies if you went to
We
New
do
Mexico.
have a Hatch Chili Blonde. but
Ooh.
we only did it in Firkins.
Oh yeah.
So we haven't had it in a couple years, but that one is one that I get a lot
Firkin
of
unbelievable.
messages about.
I have
These
to
beer
edit that
puns are
in.
killing me. But eventually we hope to kind of play off of all this awesome stuff going on in the
Yeah.
South Main Village and have a tap room open. But we've been working on that for a while. There's no concrete plan. So
Yeah.
kind of just,
I've heard those rumors for years.
I know, exactly. I think whenever I started here, we were like really deep into it. But
Yeah.
So Rahr is the first craft brewery in the Fort Worth area.
In North
2004
Texas.
or North Texas. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
for the longest standing, technically there was a company called, I think, Texas Beer Company, which now there is a
Taylor.
Texas Beer Company.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Which they won for their Amber at GABF.
Yeah.
Really nice guys, by the way.
Which,
They are.
Yeah.
I met JD.
They're
I'm
also
not-
really
in
supportive
the
of Rahr.
guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a super fan of their Amber, but
It's not the color of your energy.
it's hoppy. It was when I tried it, it was not what I was expecting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I had it at the Salado Beer Festival. So
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, sorry.
Oh, no. Just, yeah, we've been around we're celebrating our 14th anniversary next weekend. So
So
we're pretty excited.
So something that I keep coming across, and that I've had a question is like, there's Rahr malts, and they're based in I think Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Manitowoc.
Wisconsin.
Like making a murderer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Making a beer.
Is that related
I should
to?
make a documentary.
Oh, yeah. Social media. Yeah. Is that related to Rahr and Sons?
We do not have any like stake in that company or anything.
No,
And they don't
yeah.
have any stake in us, but we do work with them a lot
Uh-huh.
because they are Fritz Rahr's cousins. that
Okay,
own.
yeah.
So,
So they all come from the original.
So yeah, from
yeah,
what's his
so
name?
1847.
Right.
From
That's
there,
where they-
however
yeah.
many generations.
That's where
it's
they
been, 'cause
settled,
I can't
right,
calculate
and-
that.
They came from
But-
Germany to Wisconsin. And they started a brewery. Was it Eagle Brewing or something like
It
that?
changed
Elks.
names, right? Or
Are you thinking of the Elk Head?
Maybe that's what it was. It was the first lager brewing place.
Yeah,
in
so there's
Wisconsin.
Rahr's Elk Head, which we just got some labels from it. That's the only reason that it's like fresh on my
oh
brain.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, they came there, and then the malting company became a whole thing, and then it's been passed down, and then Fritz ended up down here, and he was working in the railroad business, and then decided,
Right. Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to be part of my heritage.
Screw you guys.
but-
I'm going to Texas.
basically. But he wanted to embrace his heritage, but still be able to do what he loved.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Nice.
that's great.
Yeah, so we are related, but we aren't them.
Okay.
Alyssa, how much raw beer had you had before you started working here?
Actually, a lot. It was funny because after I started working here, I was like on my time hop, and like
Oh.
over and over and over, I was seeing
Time hop.
where
Here we
I
go.
I
had
haven't heard that in a while.
posted.
Yeah.
I know.
I had to think of what it was. It's
I
like,
just
whoa.
deleted it off of my phone because I made it to 365 days. So I was like, that's it. I'm never doing this again. But before that, like, I was just seeing that I had posted so many times that I drank raw beer. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I didn't even realize I interacted with this beer that much before. But I really probably would never work anywhere that I didn't believe in the product.
Oh
So,
yeah,
Number one, product. Number two.
beer.
Had you been to the tours?
No, my first tour was Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, wow.
After I did my first demo of Rahr.
Because I
Okay.
remember coming to tours before the roof collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
'Cause
Okay.
what year?
What happened?
There was
I kind of figured.
Oh.
What year was the roof collapse?
2010.
2010.
wait. So there was so much beer that the roof collapsed. or-
Something like that.
We had a snow and ice storm or something,
Oh, okay,
and there was
yeah.
so much wind.
Yeah, 2010. That was a really cold winter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's when there was so much ice and snow that the roof collapsed.
Right, yeah.
And they luckily had insurance and were able to upgrade a lot of the equipment. And I think it was almost a year that like the tap room was closed and they weren't able to do tours,
Right.
which was a shame when it's the only brewery in Fort Worth.
Right.
Oh man, yeah.
But
that point,
they
there
came back
were-
bigger and better.
Yeah, and there were only, I think he had to whittle it down to like 2 employees outside of himself because there was just no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the roof has collapsed and you're doing construction, where do you brew? And I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the whole roof wasn't. Well, I mean, did you have to replace the whole thing or?
Yeah, they
no.
replaced. It was that side of the building.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
replaced the whole thing, and then
But
They
it
had to
damaged
raise
a
it.
lot of equipment.
yeah,
Right.
That was
and
the biggest
then
thing.
after that,
Raised
it was
the
pretty
roof.
soon after that we started.
So slow.
I missed that one.
Dad jokes
They had
over
to
here.
raise the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get it.
I was just gonna let it go.
It got through.
But I forgot where I was going with that.
Sorry.
Yeah, it damaged a lot of
Bad
equipment.
jokes will do
and,
that.
Yeah, I
so
don't
so weren't
remember.
able to
Oh, but
brew
we
it
have a
like
beer
full
named, well, we used to have a
capacity.
beer named after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon.
Oh, okay.
That's what
makes
that meant.
sense. Yeah.
Soon after that is when we signed with the distributor. That's what I was gonna.
Oh, okay.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah, you self distributing at that point, right?
Yeah, and then the distributor really helped us to keep going after that point. Really,
So Rahr is only open one day a week to the public, or
we are open 2 days a week. So Wednesdays from 5 to 7:30, and then Saturdays
all right,
just 1 to
okay.
3.
Okay.
So,
You got to get a lot of drinking in those 2 hours. There.
yeah, so it's just like 3 beers, 3.5 beers on Wednesdays.
Or you just know people and come here on Monday and Friday.
Just show
Like we
up.
are now.
We had our Pink Boots meeting here on Monday. So
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Alyssa that the first time that I came here back in 2016, we came here with a group of friends that live in North Richland Hills, and they were doing like cat adoptions here. Cat adoptions. Sounds weird to me. But they adopted a kitty.
And
So-
I was telling him
And they
that
still
it
have
was
it.
my first tour, and I
Was-
had
yeah.
I had prepared the firkin for that
Yeah.
event.
Oh, nice.
It was literally called Cat Piss.
So a saison or
It was like I think it was just like something hoppy, and then
Very
dry
Barney.
hopped again, and then we put like even more Eureka hops in it or something
yeah.
like that.
So
It
Samantha,
did not smell good.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Sorry. No, no, no.
You're good. You're good.
I was just remembering it and how bad it smelled.
It was bad.
So
Did it smell
smelly.
like cat
It
piss?
tasted
Cat piss?
really good, but it smelled really
Cat
bad.
piss is the worst. Anyway, no,
for it.
I was going to say, Samantha, what is your 10-year plan with Funky Picnic?
so really right now we're
having
just
an interview? Oh,
Yeah.
I got a job interview
We're-
now.
just do Mitch Hedberg. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Celebrating the 10
10-year
year
anniversary.
anniversary.
Of this conversation.
You're in. You know Mitch Hedberg jokes. You're
True
totally
story.
in.
When 10 years ago, when I interviewed at Alcon, I had to bite my tongue and not answer that question that way. So at least now I'm moving into a job where I can answer it that way.
Yeah.
That's when you know
true.
you're moving up.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
You
are the
can
people you
answer-
want to hire.
Exactly.
I know. Well, I did.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I didn't bite my tongue whenever I was asked what makes you the next best thing since sliced bread. And I said, I come with cheese. And the guy was just as surprised as I was. I was like, I come with extras. Like, I'm more than just bread. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
What a weird question.
Yeah.
Ducks love
was-
me.
He was a weird guy. So, and he had a whole bunch of rubber duckies in his office. So
Oh,
that
gosh.
kind
And
of
they eat at Subway for free.
Weird. They do.
all the Mitch Hedberg jokes. They
Don't
all
bother
want
charging
sun
me.
chips.
It's for a duck.
And they
Sorry.
all want sun chips.
Yes.
All right, so Funky Picnic. So for the most part, we're really just looking at 5 years. So in the space, we
Yeah.
have 4,600 square feet. We have a really small area for our 7-barrel brewery. We can grow. Current plan is to start at about 500 barrels a year, but we can grow to 1,500 to 2,000 by adding extra tanks. Outside of that, we're going to outgrow that space, but that's the 5-year plan. So then, if we're successful enough, we will look into opening second locations. And
Cool.
that second location has a lot of flexibility. It could be a tap room only
Yeah.
with a bigger brew house. It could be another brew pub. It could be a lot of things. So we'll really just see what the marketplace looks like and what the traction from the first location looks like, and then we'll move to that second location.
Just ranch beer.
Yep, just ranch beer.
Ranch Beer Day.
It'll have to be in the stockyards.
There you go. Yeah.
So I wanted to go back. That was a point that I wanted to ask. So you said that it's legal in Fort Worth to drink in public. I thought that was just in the stockyards. Is that everywhere in
Nope,
Fort Worth?
that's everywhere in Fort Worth. That's actually a state law, but most cities have ordinances that don't allow it.
There's areas of
So most
I know
small
there,
towns are the
yeah,
same.
There are
That's
areas
not to
of
say
Austin.
though that you could like buy an open beer here and walk out on the
Yeah.
street. You have to buy it at like 7-Eleven or a Crowler where it's like
Well, that's because of TABC, and you're not allowed to let people take your alcohol off premises, right?
Right.
So we're not like New Orleans.
Exactly.
Because
That's
you're
like
not
my comparison.
You can't sell beer to go, basically, and that's beer to go, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you
We
could take
can't.
But you can
You
sell
could-
beer to
Yeah,
go.
if you have a
plastic
brew
cup.
pub license,
But they
Right.
couldn't open the beer inside
Oh.
her establishment
and then
walk
take it out.
with
Yeah,
But you
okay.
could buy a closed growler, leave, go off the property with a closed growler, and then on the street or on the sidewalk, open it and walk up
and
and down the
drink
street.
straight out of the growler.
Yeah.
There's
like the
a
classy man you
Yeah.
are.
yes.
Paper bag optional.
Well, you put it in a paper bag and nobody knows what it is.
Exactly.
They can't see it.
I'm drinking milk.
Where'd it go? It's invisible. No, we there.
Milk was
One
a
of the
bad choice.
members of the podcast is he's always bringing this up that there was one time I don't know where he was, but he bought a growler fill and he tried to drink it there, and they were like, "No, you can't drink that here because that's beer to go." And it's like, well,
Well, and I think legally you can, but usually beer to go is going to be sold at a cheaper price than
yeah,
you would buy that
because it's
quantity.
a larger volume.
So
yeah, so
usually just economically a brewery wants to make sure that that's
Right.
only for off-premise consumption.
that makes sense.
I think legally you could buy a crowler and drink it there, but it's just usually frowned upon.
They
by
don't
the,
want you. Yeah,
by
they
the
want
brewery.
to sell you a pint. not
Yeah.
if you're gonna drink it there, yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
now you may be like, but I saved $2
Yeah.
on 32 ounces if I
Yeah.
buy that growler.
32 ounce. You got
Yeah.
a small growler.
And that's one thing. Well, so that's where I'm thinking crowlers, because
Yeah.
we're not going to do growler fills. We want to specifically do crowlers because
Yeah.
you can
You
actually
can seal it, and
we can control the product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Also, I can pre-crowler things and
oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah.
and say we're only going to do, say we have a specialty beer and we want to allow crowler sales, but we want to limit it at 30 crowlers.
Yeah.
We can pre-crowler those, stick them in the cooler. If somebody orders one, I just have to go grab it, and then it's not taking time for my bartenders to actually
Fill it and seal
if we're
it. Yeah.
busy.
Yeah,
And
that
then we
makes
can
sense.
control, okay, we sold exactly 30 of these. So, but really the quality is one of the biggest things. And this is something I overheard and learned at what I consider our like quintessential pie in the sky brewery that we want to
Yeah.
be like, which is Works Brewing
Okay.
in Greeley, Colorado. So they make weird beers like we want to make,
Yeah.
and they make them to GABF level quality. And
That's that's something there.
yeah, and I overheard, I guess they started doing growlers and within their first year decided to just do crowlers.
Okay.
And I overheard them telling a customer that it was so that they could
That's why.
control the quality.
Yeah. No, I've heard that too, and it makes perfect sense because you fill a growler and it's basically open to the environment at that point. You're not going to like purge it and fill it with CO2 and like be able to get all that oxygen out of there. By the time you drink that growler, it could be skunky. It could
You could have left it in the sunlight.
Yeah.
You could have brought it in with chunks of things that
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if I
exactly.
rinse it, I can't completely clean it.
could be full of bacteria.
So
yeah.
you could get an off flavor.
Yeah.
And that reflects badly on us as a
Oh, of
brewery
course,
because you don't
yeah.
know that that's why the beer doesn't taste
Yeah.
well. If we're
Yeah, you could
crowlering
think
it,
it's
we
just the
have
beer,
complete
yeah.
control.
If you're drinking it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the beer dummy here and explain to me what a difference
crowler
between
is?
a growler and
yeah.
a crowler.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've found when we've been doing the podcast, especially in Austin. It's getting more and more prevalent, but
Now that
not a lot
Crowler
of,
Gate's
not,
over.
Yeah, exactly. Come and take it. I don't know. Now come and drink it. No, but yeah, no, a lot of people don't know what crowlers are. So it's basically just a 32-ounce can. Instead of a growler, they fill it and then they seal it there. So yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's like permanently sealed until
Yeah.
it's once it's
Until
opened,
you
it's
crack it
opened,
open.
and it's open.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just like a giant can. So.
Okay, I
But you
see.
don't
And
have
they
to
just
remember.
fill it there.
Yeah, you don't have to remember your growler. We
Yeah.
fill it. Either we have them pre-filled, or when you ask for it, we fill it, and then you take it home. But kind of the same. I mean, really, if you're drinking a growler, you should, when you open it, drink it all right then to
Yeah.
have the best carbonation.
Yeah, you
anyways.
don't want to close it back up, and yeah.
So most people don't.
No, they'll save it for.
But that's why
forever.
it's in a 32 ounce.
Right.
Yeah, and 32 ounces is easier to
I
drink
think a
than
64 ounce can
yeah.
would be ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it's a mini
Well,
keg.
I mean,
hard to hold.
I just want one. I
I've
don't know.
played
Now I do.
kickball with like for the kickball where you can play with a beer in your hands. I go out there with a crowler because I'm like, I don't know, I don't have to get new ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're
Fun
going to be in
fact.
the outfield for a while anyway.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I'm obviously not doing a very good job of playing kickball. I'm worried about my beer. But
Yeah. Well,
Fun fact-
you got your priorities straight. there.
Do you play kickball with Fort Worth Sports and Social League or?
So I started playing Waka, and when that was like the only option, and then some friends started an offshoot,
Okay.
and I played in that. Now I don't get to do anything. All I do is work.
Right. Yeah.
So I bartend at 2 other breweries, and then I volunteer at a community restaurant that's a pay what you can model. So it's 80%
Oh, okay.
volunteer run.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to support 20% of food insecure people, and
Awesome.
80% of the people help offset those by paying what you normally would at a restaurant or more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a nonprofit, and so I volunteer there about once a week and work at the breweries, each of the breweries once or twice a week.
Can you say what those breweries are?
Yeah, it's Martin House Brewing and
Oh,
then
nice.
Cowtown Brewing, which just opened. So I worked there last night.
So is Cowtown a brew pub or is it like a brewery?
It's
Or
a-
is it just cows?
Brewing cows?
Yeah,
Just take a squeeze off a.
just a lot of lactose
This one's
in their beers.
strawberry.
This technology
Chocolate-
would be awesome.
Chocolate milk.
They're a brew
Chocolate
pub.
milk comes from brown
Okay.
cows.
They have a smoker and a truck out back,
Right.
but you're actually ordering at the bar, and then us that work there, the food, we run the food to the people. You're not having to go back to the truck and order.
I see.
But it's a
Okay.
stationed food truck
Okay.
that's there, and they make barbecue and mac and cheese and all of that stuff.
You
Burn-ins
had me at
and
mac and
sausage.
cheese.
The mac and cheese sells out fast, so go
Oh,
early
man.
if you're going to
Okay.
go. They actually have a Learn to Homebrew Day event there tomorrow.
Yeah,
at noon.
yeah. It's a National Learn to Homebrew Day. Yeah.
So I'm hoping to stop by for that.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Martin House. We just had a couple Martin House beers this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the tres leches with cinnamon.
I had their peanut butter.
Pretzel
Pretzel stout?
Their pretzel
Yeah.
stout with peanut butter is
Pretzel
what it
stout.
is.
That
Yeah,
is a beer
yeah.
that I definitely was drinking before I worked in the industry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My favorite Martin House beer is a True Love. There's
Yes.
stout,
Yeah.
raspberry stout. Oh, I love
It's
that
a stout
thing.
now?
I'm sorry, raspberry sour.
I mean, if it's a
Sour.
raspberry stout,
It did
I
come
want
from
that.
it
Yeah.
came from the one where you would mix them together, the Heaven Above and the Hell Below.
Oh, yeah.
Stars above.
Stars Above.
Sorry.
Whatever.
Oh,
it was.
the
Hell,
Stars above.
Stars Above, Hell Below.
It was one of y'all. I think
The
y'all
Burden
talked about
Brothers,
it in
right?
the Possum Kingdom.
Right.
Yeah,
dinner.
because that's
Yeah.
a that's
Because it was
a
one of theirs,
Toadies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Toadies song or a Burden Brothers song?
It's a
Or their
Toadies-
album.
It's their album.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
that's right. It's their
Hell-
second album. Right?
Yeah,
Hell
because
below, stars above.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
There we
something's
go.
going on between Martin House and Toadies. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You haven't figured it out
They
yet.
just reached out to him early on when there
Yeah.
weren't many people, and they agreed to it, and they've just kept it going.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
they always partner with a.
I love their Toadies beers.
Concert.
They just
That Possum
they just-
Kingdom.
that is
That
a
so good.
that is
Pilsner is
amazing
good.
Pilsner. And it's like 4.6%, so
Yeah.
you can just drink it all day. It's
So
like,
yeah, that's newer.
and there's so much flavor. You get these 4% beers, and it's like, where's the beer?
Yeah.
But it's just a great beer.
Yeah, that
That's
one's
a-
a really good beer.
That was like the first Martin House I had that I really liked. Before that, I had other ones that were not so good, or maybe they were just not for me. But yeah, that one was really good.
Listening back to that episode, I was unfair to the Salty Lady because the Salty Lady is
They have a variant of it now, right?
And
think.
I have become partial to those beers now. And if I go back and drink that beer, I might like it.
I'm not
So
sure I'm
I
a
feel-
ghost person or ghost. How
I-
how does
Goza.
everybody here say Goza?
I say Goza.
Okay,
So at Panther Island, it's there Goza, my hero.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've been saying ghost, so it's Goza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe their idea is
You
there
guys are
goes
really
my
confident.
hero.
You're like, no, it's Goza.
It's
I mean,
Goza.
I've been
It's
saying
Goza.
it like that since
It's Goza, and then
became
there's
a, like,
the
word.
Gueze is a goose.
Yeah.
So those
I've
are
seen
two
that.
different
Okay.
styles, but they kind of get confused sometimes.
I
But
see.
Obviously, the Goza is a lot more popular
Right,
as
right.
of a style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salty.
Yeah.
So salty.
I love Salty Lady.
I do too. And
I
I,
think
don't
it's
know
like-
why I didn't like this.
like
It's
the
a craft.
desert.
It's a craft beer Gatorade. Like
Yeah. Okay.
I guess so. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
great for being outside. Like it's just like you're drinking all those electrolytes.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
it is.
Nice.
It's perfect for like a lawn mowing day.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I love mowing
Well,
my
you said
lawn.
you
I
don't
know,
like
he-
sours, though, right?
They're okay.
I'm
don't.
a big sour
That's a
person.
no.
I'm
I
a
don't
sour
really get like a sour
No.
flavor from that though. I get like a lot of the salty
It's
flavor
tart.
from it.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's tart.
So we're done with our second.
So we
Is
can-
everybody done?
we can finish
Pretty
on our
much,
third.
yeah.
on our
Yeah.
third. Yeah. Cool.
So right now we're gonna be trying the Rahr and Sons Winter Warmer. It was something that I was pushing for. It's not technically cold enough for a winter warmer, but
Oh, we
then
got
again,
too much?
oh.
Got it. You
good.
got it. It's
That's
perfect.
good. I like that.
This one is our English dark ale.
Yeah,
Somebody poured a little better.
8%
I have a little
alcohol.
left in the can, so yeah.
It has some dark fruit flavors, a nice rich and malty flavor
Oh yeah,
to it. I don't know what else you want to know about it.
I think I just tasted the foam, so I haven't tasted. But yeah, the foam tastes pretty good.
There's definitely a proper pour there with a 8-inch head. That's what she said.
That's good one.
Good
8
retention.
inches just for the head.
I know.
Ouch. I don't know.
Anything's possible.
I've just read. I know.
I've only seen things on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Something about cups.
2 girls, 1 Reese's
Oh,
cup.
yeah.
I don't know. Something like that.
Prost.
Yeah, gross.
Ah.
Cheers.
Cheers. My silly pint does not do a good clink.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
You should have said clean.
This is
know.
like
Uh-huh.
a real
Clink,
funny
clink.
finish to a
It's like when you
mango
hang up
flavor.
on a cell phone.
Yeah.
You do click. Wait, did you hang up? No, I just said click.
This is a good beer.
Man, malty.
Yes.
This
It's
is
going to take
That
a few
is.
drinks for me to get rid of the mango flavor in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, we got a whole beer to get through. So. But yeah, I was talking to, well, me and Chance earlier were talking about malty beers and heavy beers, and it's like, as it warms up, it releases a lot more flavors. But the thing is, I still don't want to drink warm beer. I mean, I understand it'll release flavors and all that, and it'll be better, but it's like, can't we have those flavors and then just have it cold?
There's like a big difference, though, between like 55 degrees and a warm beer.
Yeah.
Yes, especially
So-
in Texas.
Yeah. So like a
'Cause it's still
55 degree beer is
Cool.
going to
Yeah.
still
But-
have your flavors, but,
But Bud Ice tastes
so
so
good.
as it colder it gets.
I've never
But you
had
know-
an actual. I don't think I've ever.
I don't think
drank
so
a Bud
either.
Ice.
Natty
Yeah.
Ice
But you
I've
know
had
why,
Natty
right?
Ice.
be cold filtered.
Because cold
Cold
actually
brewed,
dulls
cold
the
filtered.
flavors, and those beers don't have any flavor.
Oh, that makes
so
sense.
you want to dull
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the lack of flavor.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas these, you want it to warm up, and it unlocks more of that as it.
Yeah, you get more of the like the vanilla and the caramel notes and everything. Yeah. But as it is, I think it tastes great,
Yeah.
and a great lacing too on the glass. That's really nice.
Even in the silly pint, I got some.
But
So-
if you throw
I
some
love
bread in there, that would be
Breads for the ducks.
yeah. They
So
want-
we-
and sun chips.
We asked you some Alyssa about
Sorry about that. We're
No.
getting ready for the tour tomorrow now.
palate time.
Somebody just died. It's cool.
Sounded like a keg.
Palate tide. We asked you what beers got you into craft brews. Samantha, what beers
Yeah,
got you
yeah.
into craft
I
brews?
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I drank a lot of craft beer as well as shitty beer in college, but what I really
yeah.
remember is growing up that I went skiing every year with my family, and
In
all I-
Colorado.
in
Or-
Colorado
Okay.
and New Mexico.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
Purple Mountains.
Yeah, so a lot of my family is a bit fun. So what I remember, which I now understand a bit more, is that there was a lot of hot damn and a lot of fat tire.
Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't really
Yeah.
understand what fat tire was
Yeah.
until I got older. So it's really cool to still see New Belgium and go to New Belgium as I'm older and opening my own brewery and know that that's really
They have a really nice variety.
one of my
but
yeah.
even though it's not a Texas beer, so
It's not, but that was one of my first, like, I think, real being introduced to it. Because,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
it was like, here, taste this,
Yeah.
type
it's
thing.
like, ooh, they have fat tire. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll
So
get
that was when you skied, you always had some hot damn
Yeah.
in your flask and you had some fat tire. Now it's Fireball
God.
Yeah,
And we have a lot
No.
more options for craft beer up on the mountains now.
that's true.
Not any cheaper.
I mean, I guess if you're out in the snow, Fireball, maybe. I don't know.
I'm telling you, Fireball skiing is great.
Okay.
So I can take people that they're like, I'm just been a few times. I do
Yeah.
greens, maybe a few blues. I'm like, you'll do a black by the end.
The Widowmaker. Oh, that one's for the ladies. Spinebuster. Boring. Woo! Customizer.
I'll feed you Fireball on the lift. You'll get warm, and you'll get brave. I also will tell you it's a blue. But you'll make it.
We're not talking about pills, right? Or I don't know what you're doing up on the mountain. So I don't know.
I was talking to Taylor whenever I was going to find the winter warmer, and he said, like a Jack Fire or whatever the cinnamon whiskey in here, or an Angry Santa.
Yeah, I could see that. Well,
Would
I mean,
be,
the
like,
Angry
really
Santa's
good.
already spiced, but yeah, it would probably pair really well. But yeah, a dark beer with some spiced alcohol, spiced whiskey, or rum. Well, I don't know. I like to think rum pairs well with beer because, it's got the sweetness and it's not too, like...
I'd just put some rum chata in here and be good to go.
Yeah, rum shot is probably better.
It would
because
be really ugly
Yeah.
looking, like a disgusting color, but it would be
you
delicious.
just don't look at it. You just drink it.
Yeah.
But,
Put it in the what did you call
the
it?
And the silly pint.
Silly pint,
yeah.
So it's a silicone pint glass.
Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it.
silicone, silly pint.
Yeah, and
It's a brand.
It's more like, I guess, the barrels, like aging in rum barrels, I would think would like lend itself really well to beer, but no, it's the bourbon barrels are really what I've tried and what I've seen is like really the best.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna try some tequila barrels.
Yes, a
with,
lot of people do that with like a
Adios
lot of
Pantalones.
with of course like a lot lighter lighter
With the
beer,
lime?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah, that's probably gonna bring
I don't know how much
accentuate
like flavor you really get from a tequila,
Tequila barrel,
Like,
I've
yeah.
had some tequila barrel aged beers.
I've seen a
and
couple.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you want much.
No,
I don't like tequila.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of like a.
What? You and your Mexican martinis, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like tequila.
I don't.
Mexican
I don't
Marts
want to
for
taste
life.
tequila.
Well, why don't you buy silver then? You always buy the añejo or whatever.
Because it's better tequila to me.
Okay.
If I'm gonna have tequila, I want
Raspado.
or
Come on.
rospato.
So it's not barrel aged.
Rospato.
It's not barrel aged, but I actually think it might be good, a barrel aged version of it. But we have a beer called Abuela's Secret, and it's a Mexican hot chocolate golden stout.
Oh man. So it's like a spicy chocolate, or
Yeah, so it's a golden stout, so we get most of the roasty character from cold brew coffee.
So a golden stout is like a blonde stout, or because I've seen one in the past, but it just like I can't wrap my head around it. It's like, but yeah.
Yeah, so we can't use the dark malts,
Right,
Because
yeah,
then
yeah.
you would get that. So
Yeah.
it's more from coffee that you're going to get the roastiness, and then we add cinnamon, cayenne, and cacao nibs.
Well,
Cacao, not cocoa, but cacao.
That means to quit.
But
yeah,
I think
no,
I think that also would be good, like a barrel aged version of that,
Or without
which we
cayenne.
haven't tried. Or with, okay.
I think there's a pepper hater
anybody-
at the table.
Yeah, I know. We love the spicy beers.
It's just cayenne, really. It's like
cayenne.
and Tony Chachere's, and I spent a lot of time in Louisiana. I don't want your life. That doesn't really make
You
sense.
Vanderbeek does.
I did.
It works.
I did. But yeah, it's the flavor. Cajun food is just not my thing. And those flavors are just like, and then cayenne. There was just so much cayenne. I'm over it. But now it's like other chilies. I'll eat jalapenos on anything. Well, not on anything, but I'll eat a lot of jalapenos. I'll eat
Jalapeno chocolate cake.
That's what I was thinking. Sweet and spicy. No, it's not my thing. But yeah, I will try cayenne in a beer.
Would
Yeah.
you try our 5 chili double IPA?
All that just doesn't sound
Have you
good
had
to
habanero sculpin?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Habanero
I haven't had
sculpin?
that
No?
either,
Oh, okay.
I will try your 5 chili IPA. That sounds delicious.
If one of the chilies is ghost pepper.
It's not ghost pepper.
It don't matter. I love chili.
Yeah, he does.
So our thought with the habanero sculpin is we love that beer, but because it's just habanero, like it kind of builds and builds and builds,
Yeah.
and it's a single IPA. So we made it a double, so the maltiness and the hops will help balance.
Maybe if it was a black IPA. I've discovered that I think I like black IPAs now because it's got the maltiness to it. I'm not an IPA fan myself. I mean, I like hops are good when they're used well, but if you throw Mosaic in there at all, it's like, no.
It's over.
No thanks. It's just so aggressive. I don't want that harsh bitterness. I want more of a rounded bitterness with flavor to it. But
So with the chilies, it actually more balances it. You don't get a lot of bitterness. It doesn't continue to burn.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah.
But we use jalapeno. I'm going to remember them all. Jalapeno, either Hatch or Poblano, depending if Hatch is in season.
Right.
And then red Fresno, Serrano, and habanero. So you
cool.
get both the vegetal flavor and aroma as well as the spice.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago, I had a chili beer from New Mexico. It was really nice. It was a Rio Grande Chili Cerveza, I think is what it was called. We're part of a craft beer club, and every month they send us selections from other parts of the country. I saw it was being delivered, and I was dreading it forever because it's like chili beer, come on, all spicy. But it was the best beer I had that night. Out of the 4 that we had, that chili beer was really great because it wasn't in your face spicy. It was a good base beer, and the spice, it was like all flavor without the heat, which is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That won't be our beer.
I've had a good chili beer. So I'm not adverse to chili beers anymore. I probably still am, but if they have mango, maybe better. Yeah.
So there's a kind of a recurring theme on the podcast that I'm going to bring up. I'm not as, I guess, passionate about it as some other members that aren't here are.
Are you really?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I figured it would be nice to kind of bring
I
up.
was not going to do that, but
I've already started it.
It's done.
Now we need to know.
It's getting started. Okay. So
Black Eyed Crows.
Yeah. There's basically
Already been brought in.
two schools of thought.
I don't think there are just 2 schools of thought.
But there's
on this,
2
really.
general schools of thought
on the podcast.
Yeah. And so we're asking you
Except
to either go left or right. Basically, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Can't
no
stay in the middle.
I know. Thank you.
No libertarian party.
Yeah. Thank you. A libertarian up in this
except
house.
that guy. Yeah.
So the question is, what is your opinion of the movie Pulp Fiction? Do you
What?
think it's either?
No. Why are you saying Pulp Fiction?
What am I supposed to say?
Fifth Element.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Fifth Element.
Those are 2 separate movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Just edit that out. So, what is your opinion? You can put that in.
Yeah.
You can just put just a little bit in.
Just the tip. See how it feels.
Just the tip.
8 inch.
8
inch.
8 inch head. 8 inch head.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, 8 inch. Oh, that's awkward. The movie Fifth Element.
The rest.
Is it a good movie or is it a bad movie?
That's fun
but
to
it's
watch.
entertaining
Yeah.
and fun to watch. And so, what is your opinion? Is it a good movie or not really actually good movie, but it's fun to watch?
that is the good movie, and then then a bad movie that's fun to watch.
Yeah, a bad movie that's fun to watch.
What do you classify as a good movie?
Just your opinion. Just your.
So my opinion is that I'm not like, I can recognize like well produced, well artistic direction type things, but that doesn't always mean that's a good movie or a bad movie. So if I enjoy it,
but
it's a
to
good
you,
movie.
yeah, okay.
And I
Okay.
enjoy that movie.
So you say it's a good movie.
Ruby
Okay.
Rod.
It was bad. It had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing. You know I have a shoulder on you, you know? And it must pop, pop, pop.
Which might, yeah.
I'm too young for this conversation.
Oh my goodness.
What?
She
I
said
was
she
like-
wasn't old enough in 2010 to be drinking here. So, hint.
I like 4.
Okay.
Maybe I might have been 6 by then when that came out.
Okay.
I mean, I've
You know-
rewatched it because of the podcast. so.
Movies made
me-
back then still exist, just so you know.
Ah.
You can still
I was
watch
telling this guy yesterday, I
Uh-oh.
was cleaning my teeth. I was like, I don't really like movies made.
Was
like,
it at the dentist?
Yes.
Or okay.
Was his name Crentist?
Just a guy on the corner.
He was just like there.
He was just doing it for
Put your
free.
head on the curb. And let
Oh
me in.
no.
Just a homeless guy trying to get a few extra bucks.
I mean, we are.
There's no homeless guys
Homeless
here.
South side here.
Homeless dentist. It's been really rough for the dental community.
Name Crentist.
Oh, hey, Denty. No, I don't know.
can I clean your window? Well, you could clean my teeth.
I mean, that's
Anyway,
more
so-
important.
Get that squeegee in there.
Anyway,
Yeah, I was just telling him that like I don't like movies made like. In,
I'm sorry.
I don't like. I referred to it as old movies.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, so basically, if it wasn't made since 2002, like I'm not interested.
how do you? We're gonna have to edit everything you said out.
Just
now.
cut me out.
Pretty
My
much when I
opinion
graduated
is basically
high school.
invalid.
Same here.
2001.
Are you
I was
class of
2003.
2003?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can just stay there.
I don't even need to share.
She was
It's fine.
5 at that time.
And on my birthday. Come on.
Wait, is it your birthday or your birthday?
Sometimes that's hard.
Birthday. Well, if I were Anthony Hardaway. Sports jokes. Anyway.
It's both me and Ross's birthday.
Well, mine is Monday. His was yesterday. So
Oh, well, happy birthday, guys.
We're
this
both-
this is what we're doing.
We're
for,
both much older than we were by 1 year.
Oh, my
When-
bones. Ouch.
My knees.
Anyway, so, yeah. On my knees.
Looks like it's going to rain today. I don't know. Is that what old people
I
say?
feel
My mom says that.
Okay.
Oh, God.
She's probably
single,
almost our
or-
age.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
God, oh my gosh.
You could be my daughter.
Oh, no. This is,
That'd be real fucked
that
up.
is weird. That's a weird.
Honestly,
What
I'm
was
not even the
Alright,
youngest person
real-
working here anymore, so I don't feel that
Yeah.
young.
Anymore.
Yeah.
I
My
mean,
first
you
year I
can
was.
legally brew at 18, right? Or, I don't know.
You just can't pitch the yeast, I think.
One of the sons
Oh,
of
really?
Rahr and Sons is only 20.
Yeah. I
So-
saw him on the website.
Damn kids these days.
So
I think it's kind of a gray area because
Yeah.
pitching the yeast then makes it alcohol.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you can do everything up to that, and you just have
Can
somebody
you
else.
buy yeast at 18?
Yeah,
I get.
It's not
I mean, I
alcohol.
guess. Yeah, you could. And there are people that use
You
red
can buy
yeast for
all the
beer
ingredients
for some
to make
reason,
beer.
Yeah.
our barrel master recently said in like an interview thing, like, I started homebrewing because I realized I could make my own beer before
Yeah.
I was 21.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, that's really true.
we've talked to a few people that have done that, and like, yeah. But at 18, you're like, what can get me the most alcohol out of this
Mm-hmm.
beer? So it's like, oh, sugar equals alcohol. So a bag of sugar
Oh,
into your
gosh.
beer. It's like, yeah, no,
But your body is built to like get over that quickly at that point.
yeah,
I mean, so nice. So nice to not
Oh,
have hangovers
God.
when you're younger.
yeah.
Like you.
No. I had to.
I will need to drink so much water after this.
On my 27th birthday, I texted everyone and I was like, I need to buy stock in Pepto-Bismol now. Like, I never understood that commercial that was like upset stomach,
Yeah.
diarrhea, and now I'm like, this is my real life. This is every Sunday.
Literally, shit. This is
Yeah.
my life.
Oh.
Pepto's delicious. I don't know about you guys. I need a Pepto
I
beer
can't
out
do
there.
Pepto.
We were never allowed to have it as children. I don't know why. I don't know. It was weird. It was.
I did go to Halloween with like a bottle of antacid
There you go.
and a
Yeah, you got to
six-pack
start.
of pumpkin beer in my hand. Like, it was like...
Yeah, you got to pregame.
Exactly.
With the Rolade.
See,
Jesus.
still though, that was
Tums.
your Halloween. My Halloween was wearing my narwhal onesie on my couch
Oh God.
I dreamed
and
of
watching
that.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I told my fiance
Oh,
that he
God.
needed
My
to
wife was
pretend to be
watching that.
sick. It didn't work.
And I was watching the preview and I was like, wait, why does Hermione look so young?
yeah, it's not her though.
I know it's the girl from Mad Men. Mad Men. Mad Men.
Mad Men.
I don't know. Yeah.
How's that third beer?
Well, it's going to lead pretty well into the fourth.
Yeah,
I
but it's not
like
really
this
the
beer.
third. If you had
Yeah.
beers this
Yeah.
morning,
No, I'm
It's true.
I'm a malt fan, so
Yeah.
this is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what all did y'all try earlier in the day?
I've only had one beer. I had that peanut butter
Yeah.
stout, pretzel peanut butter stout, pretzel stout.
Pretzel stout
I think
with
the
peanut
salt,
butter.
Peanut butter.
The salt leads well with the peanut butter.
Yeah, I thought so. And it had a nice, just kind of like, you finish with pretzel.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. Yeah.
The pretzel stout was one of the first stouts I liked.
Yeah?
I wasn't really a big darker beer stout fan. And that was one of the few stouts I would like. And then I started kind of drinking more porters.
Right.
And then...
I had a
But I
peanut
don't
butter
like sweet
porter
beers,
that was
so.
really nice.
Have y'all bought the Martin House 4-pack that has the 4 different beers?
No.
You just did
I've
the
never
one,
seen it.
right? Well, see, he said he did Tres Leches cinnamon.
that was part
Yeah.
of it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, the cinnamon. It was like I was debating between that and the coconut cream. And it's like, what do I get? And
So-
the cinnamon, it just sounded better. And so
It was delicious.
And then
Yeah.
I ordered it, and the woman at the tap room, she said, "Oh yeah, I love it. It's like horchata in a beer, and it's like it just kind of reminds me of that." And it's like, sold. That's what I want.
So you
yeah.
went to
Yeah.
the tap room.
Well, we went to Taps and Caps.
Oh, okay.
On Camp
So they
Brewing.
have
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool because they have TVs for their menu. But no, well, that's not the cool. They also have kegs, and it'll tell you how much is in their
Yeah.
keg. And so that one was almost tapped. So I was like, well, I better get that one. Yeah.
So
You
I
never
heard in the
know.
tap room they ran out of the coconut first.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what was after that, but that was
I would
the most.
I would think
don't
the
like
coconut would be the
beers,
big draw. Death by Coconut from Oscar Blues. That's a really good
It
one.
all tastes like sunscreen to me.
it's-
Oh my gosh! Last night I stopped and I
sunscreen is so
bought
good. Just squirt it in there.
Almond Joy.
Yeah.
Because
I had an
I was
almond
like-
joy last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half price Halloween candy.
There you go.
Almond Joy is my go-to.
You were so joyous.
This guy said. This guy said, "What? How do you feel about almond joys?" It's like, what kind of question is that? So I had an almond joy. Yeah.
I heard someone say, I love Almond Joys, but I don't love Baby Ruth. And I was like,
Oh, I don't love that. There's too
Nah.
much peanuts.
what?
What? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Those are completely different candies.
I'm
Yeah.
not into
Yeah.
it.
How do
both
you
have
compare?
peanuts.
Well,
And
it's
they
like-
both have
It's
chocolate.
like that's
No.
that's
Almond
understandable.
Joy has one
It's-
almond.
Yeah.
They don't have
Because it's
peanuts?
called Almond Joy.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not peanut
It
joy?
also has coconut,
no.
so it's not, and no caramel or
Yeah, I was like-
caramel. If that's,
I
so
just-
they're completely
they were-
different. It's like
They
okay,
both
yeah,
have nuts. They both have chocolate. I
No.
thought it would be a similar candy.
you and
Not
your
at all.
closed-minded libertarian
What
world.
was it? Was Baby Ruth? Yes.
Oh,
Baby Ruth was the. What you said?
Yeah, Baby
it's
Ruth
closer to a
and
Snickers.
I
Almond Joy.
love
Yeah.
Baby Ruth. I
closer
hate
to a
Snickers.
Snickers.
Or like, isn't Take 5 similar to that? Or that has pretzel in it?
The hell's take
Yeah, it does.
It means
It's
to
one of
go
these new
somewhere for 5
candy
minutes.
bars that they invented after 2002.
Oh, probably.
No, they.
I think
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
someone
it-
say
it
a
is.
zero is the best candy they've ever had.
Oh
I've never
man,
had a zero.
Yeah, it's all nougat and chocolated.
I didn't get
there's
any of
caramel.
this fancy. I grew up poor. I didn't get any of this fancy.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
things.
too.
well,
Yeah.
Alpine White is what that was fancy
I grew up
for
with
us.
Nestle Crunch. That's all I had.
They don't
I got
have
those
Alpine White
Orange
anymore.
marshmallow peanuts. That's all I got.
Though. Oh, circus peanuts.
And Lay's potato chips. That's all I had growing up.
You got name brand?
Yeah.
I
Not
guess
wow.
So. I guess so.
No, mine
Not
was
Wow
Hill
chips.
Country. Hill Country
Oh,
Fair.
yeah.
Oh.
we didn't have any HEBs. Girl.
Yeah,
we
we
had
had-
one.
We had Walmart.
They're
so
not-
I had
yeah.
Lay's potato
Some
chips.
Great Value?
And Coca-Cola, and that's
yeah.
all we had.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Great Value mac and cheese is not mac and cheese. It's okay. Well, mac and cheese really isn't mac and cheese, but I'll eat some Kraft mac and cheese. But anyway.
I will say I eat a lot of 99-cent Sprouts mac and cheese now. So you get a whole bag.
You should put like a pack of the buffalo tuna.
See,
It's really good.
I used to do tuna in the mac and cheese because I grew up on like tuna helper.
Yeah, tuna
No,
casserole was
I
like
would
the
not-
only thing
I
my
would
mom
never
knew
eat
how to
that.
make.
I
I
was
love tuna.
I
No.
did that recently to my 99
Hot fit- hot
99
tuna,
cent
no.
mac and cheese, and I ruined the mac and cheese. Really, just the cheese and carbs that I want.
Yeah.
I don't need any protein in there.
No. Broccoli, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
No.
Anyway.
It's like my comfort food.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I had while
I can live
wearing
off
my
noodles.
narwhal onesie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
As long as it's
Recovering
that
from
funky
allergies.
picnic.
Perfect. There you go. Yeah. We had kids show up at like 8:30, 9.
And they're like, "Where's the macaroni and cheese?"
should have turned the light off.
no, I was into it, and then the kids stopped showing up. So I was like, all right,
think
I
that's
guess
the right thing to say.
No, I was into it, but the kids were.
I'm gonna move on. So, I let my dogs out, and my dogs are very sweet. But if you come up to the door knocking unexpectedly, they don't sound
Yeah.
sweet. And we had some kids like just stand there, like they wanted candy so much that they were like, "Bring your dogs, man! I don't give a hell."
Yeah.
Honestly, we had kids looking in our window with a flashlight. I was here, and frickin' Google Home turned on our lights, even though we had said to keep them off.
Oh no!
So we had 2
We know
doorbell
you're in
ringers.
there.
Yeah. We had the ring and I could see them.
Yeah.
But then my fiance's at home and he's can see these lights shining into our house and our dog's going crazy. The cat's running back and forth chasing their cell phone lights. I'm like, what is wrong with these kids?
Kids with cell
I know.
phones. Why?
Seriously.
Why is this?
They don't
Why?
give kids cell phones.
Yeah.
I had to have a job and be 16.
Yeah.
That's when they were invented, but still, I had to have a job and be...
I was 23 before I had my first cell phone.
I was
didn't
19.
have anybody. I also didn't have
I was
anybody
in the Navy and gone away, but it
Yeah.
took me till I was adult to get to cell
probably
phones.
the same year.
Yeah.
I guess I was 15, but I had a prepaid minute,
Yeah.
and it was because I worked at a place that did not have a landline, so I had to
Right.
call... I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
I had to call someone to come pick me up.
Yeah. My dad had our first cell phone,
Wait.
and it was a two-way radio / cell phone.
Oh, the Nextel.
Was it the Nokia?
Yeah,
The-
and it was in this
the yellow
big
brick?
case.
Yeah,
it was like a
I remember
brick.
that.
And then I remember talking to someone. I was like, "This is a phone? Wow."
Doesn't have a cord?
Did you know these iPhones are phones?
No, apparently my uncle had one of the first cell phones because he used to be in finance
one of the-
sales or something.
yeah.
It was a suitcase.
Oh
cell
yeah,
phone.
no, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
like, opened his suitcase and there was a cord
like
yeah, it
Zach
still had a
Morris.
cord
from the
yeah,
suitcase.
exactly.
Didn't even know that existed until
Yeah,
he told me 3 weeks ago.
I've seen a couple of those.
They had a
but
few
yeah.
of those,
Not in
and I
real
think
life,
the
but-
car phones
The
were
car
more
phone,
practical.
Right? Yeah, that makes more sense.
And then you
Well-
went to the Zach Morris brick phone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I'm obsessed with him.
But yeah, if you go
But
to
that was
Corsicana, they have the
pre-2002?
phone museum.
TV shows are fine.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Zach Morris was my first TV crush.
How old were you?
Kelly. Oh, man.
See,
Sabrina
everybody
was mine. What was her name?
Later.
Melissa Joan
Melissa
Hart.
Joan Hart. Yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah, she was fine.
Obviously not fine enough to remember her name. But,
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Salem Saberhagen.
But
She was no Jennifer Aniston.
she was
so.
Clarissa before that, right?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
explained it all. Yeah,
I was too poor to have Nickelodeon.
yeah.
so-
We didn't have cable.
Yeah.
We also didn't have cell phones to call people.
Is
to
this
pick
a
us up,
comparison of
but,
who was poor when they were growing up?
Yeah.
Wait, you had a home? Oh man, you had TV?
She was super poor because she was a baby.
Yeah, that's really poor.
She wins.
I actually was really
She couldn't
poor.
even afford walking.
My brothers have the most bomb life now because they're still teenagers.
We spelled poor POR because we had to eat the other O.
As a spaghetti-o.
Then it was with in Spanish.
Yeah, we were okay. I don't know. So, do we want to start our fourth beer?
Yeah, do we want to taste some Angry Snowman?
I want some Santa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he can be happy or angry. I don't mind.
Well, if he's happy, he gives you better presents and not pooping down your chimney. which is on the can. It's
On the
not,
can,
Yeah.
Oh,
Not just made up.
You didn't just come up with that?
No, I'm not just
And you
saying.
have some weird fear about pooping
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
First time?
Yeah. It was the first time for everything.
Movies before 2002. Wait, was Donnie Darko before 2000?
Yes. It
Oh.
It's like she knows. She has a list.
So, what is your opinion on Donnie Darko?
Ah, here we go.
Have you seen it?
I only watched it.
I saw
one time,
the other
and
day. I
slept
saw.
through it. It was
Yeah.
on Lifetime or something.
Oh God! What?
That does not seem like a Lifetime
No.
movie.
Not at all.
It was like.
I mean, it is
AMC?
Donnie Darko.
Is that the
Drug
other one?
abuse, maybe.
TNT, one of the ones that plays those other movies.
Old movies,
Yeah.
Probably TNT.
like almost black and white.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. It's basically the same.
This is
Clink.
the sound from Clink.
Toast.
Smell is really great.
Oh my goodness.
Taste
this,
is even better.
Wait, are all the spices in this?
This is my
Ooh,
first.
this is
my first Angry
ama-
Santa.
I
of
gotta
the
see this
season.
can.
mine too. I
mean,
need to.
it's after
I need to
Halloween,
get
so-
more of this. It's in stores next week, or
Hey,
this
I want
one?
to point this out.
Yeah.
There's honey
No.
in this beer.
There's
There's
what?
There's honey in this beer.
Oh, there is.
And you guys said you didn't like honey.
No, I don't
That's
like.
this is the only
To me,
non-vegan
honey
beer
has
that
a
we make.
honey has a weird taste to me. It's got like this iron taste. A lot of people use honey and it's like, no, it just makes it sweet. No, it's got this taste.
Have you ever
to
had
it.
local honey though? Because I hate
That's
honey.
what people have.
And then
yeah.
we bought honey from McKinney, and I was like, this doesn't taste as bad. Like, it tastes like a sweetener.
It's probably because it's not from China. Because a lot of the honey that you get on the shelves is actually like artificial from China. They don't say it, but
Yeah, I only eat local honey.
I did get a big like 3-pound tub of meadow foam honey because I want to try to use that in a beer, but it's supposed to taste like marshmallow, so I don't know. But we'll see. I want to use that in
love
like
honey
a
in the
stout or
coffee.
something. Yeah.
Honey
I know it's nasty. That is
delicious.
I'm not a fan of coffee.
I dare you
anyway.
to say that to Honey's face.
I don't know what this is.
See, I think this is all I would want of this.
Yeah,
beer.
this is amazing. From the first sip.
I don't think I could drink more than this.
Really?
Last year I was
that's
drinking this and Bourbon Barrel just like constantly.
Yeah.
Because I was at home for like 6 weeks. I think I would come into the office like once a week.
Oh, that 20-year-old liver.
But
Sorry, 21.
last year I was still 26, okay?
Well, this doesn't have alcohol in it, right? It's-
That pre-30-year-old liver.
yeah.
This makes me think of eggnog.
Yeah, no, it
like
is
a
very
gingerbread
Christmassy.
in a
Yes,
cup.
yes,
got that
gingerbread,
spice, yeah.
spice, nutmeg, cinnamon.
Does it list everything?
It's like it's
It's just mulling spices. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same spice blend that we put into pumpkin. It just comes out really
exactly
different. with
yeah. It's
pumpkin
what you would put like in a pumpkin pie,
versus
Mulling
and a
spices.
brown ale versus
but without the pumpkin
an
flavor.
English dark ale.
Yeah,
It says notes of vanilla, cinnamon, honey, and fresh gingerbread.
yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Santa's legs aren't that hairy.
How do you know?
I did a picture on the beer. Okay.
Yeah.
In previous years, Jeff has kind of, like right here, I can see that this is Jeff in this picture. That's our creative director.
Yeah.
And that's Jodelle. That's Fritz, the owner's mom, in her beach outfit. I'm like trying to
She's
zoom
right
in.
behind you.
Oh, there.
That's her, really?
Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to zoom in.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Fritz's
She
mom.
is the Rahr blonde.
She is the original Rahr
on
blonde.
the summer cans. Yeah. Because there's two different blonde
Yeah, so that's our
cans.
old can. So that's one of her pictures from Juilliard.
Oh.
This is our summer of blonde cans, which is her at the beach. And then we
Oh,
have a
okay.
shield can of blonde that looks like the rest of them.
Yeah.
But she was Miss Minnesota in 1952 and the runner
Oh, yeah?
to like Miss Universe. So
I see. Okay, I get it.
It's not the first time we've done that on the podcast. So another question that I don't know if I asked this, but or put it in the questions, but we often discuss deathbed beers.
Oh, you
So
did.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do see it on here.
Oh, okay.
I wrote an answer.
Yeah,
I
it's
did not get
it's
that
very
far.
important. So it's like,
You go first. Then.
yeah. What when you're going out, what's the last beer you want to drink?
If I was going out now, I'm sure this would change as I get older, but some pale ale. A good pale ale. I mean,
Yeah.
like Go Easy from Hop Fusion or Yes Sir, which I think is maybe a session IPA actually from Community.
We've had
Something
a couple
like
of
that.
people say Hans Pils, actually.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think I want something a little bit more hoppy and balanced.
Yeah.
Than just a Pils. Like that's a good everyday. Like
Right.
I almost always have Hans in my fridge, but I think like Deathbed, I would want just like a
Shouldn't they make
great
like
pale
a
ale.
Franz Pils as well?
We just want to pop you off.
Like a Hans and Franz Pils? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I think Franz is Gunner, which is a Hefeweizen,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
which is a great Hefeweizen.
Maybe that
so-
won't work then.
But it's not the
But
second.
Hans was the dog.
Oh,
Hans is
okay.
named after the dog at Real Ale.
Oh, is there a dog on the can? I
think
thought
so.
in the on the top of the shield.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that makes more. So it's not 90s Saturday Night Live. Okay, I get it. Unfortunately,
What's your deathbed beer?
do you have a lot, or
No, I'm just
were you
like,
not able to come up with?
No, I feel like I'm just kind of biased to Rahr and Sons right now because I work here and drink all the beer all the time. But really, our pumpkin ale, like,
Yeah.
if I could just like keep that all year round and it tasted good all year round, I would
Yeah.
drink it every single day.
This is why people homebrew. I don't know if that's why.
I don't
it
have
might
the
be.
patience for that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
It's also when it's not in season, still hard to find.
Pumpkin.
You end up
pumpkin
having
puree.
to do canned.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still hard to find it at those quantities. I think we did 15 cans of pumpkin,
Wow.
like regular 15-ounce cans. Just
How
for
big was the batch?
5 or 10 gallon batch. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because you want to taste it.
We've done fresh pumpkin before,
Yeah.
but if you can't find like pie pumpkins and
Right.
and bake them and actually
Yeah,
do that.
because you have to bake it first. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Well, Ross, do you have a deathbed beer at this
Well,
moment in time in your life?
I mean, yeah, but it's probably not one that it's the Doppelblur from Circle, it's a local Austin brewery. I had a lot of it last night. I actually bought a growler and brought it up here. So
We're going to try some later.
yeah. Chance has never had it. It's an Imperial Hef, so it's like their Hef, but just like more.
You like those sweet beers.
It's super banana-y. They got it's like very little cloves and big banana flavor, and it's deceptively it's a dangerous beer because it's like 7 or 8%. I don't taste it.
That'll do it.
But yeah. But yeah,
about you?
it's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite. But this Rahr, this bad. It's not Bad Santa, but
Angry Santa.
Angry Santa is very good.
That's
We
Billy
also
Bob.
make
Yeah.
like a drunken Santa for like our anniversary and a couple
Is that whiskey
tours.
barrel aged or
It
what is that?
is rum barrel aged.
Oh, rum barrel aged. Okay.
We were talking about rum earlier.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember which one was rum barrel. It's that, and then it just tastes just boozier.
Yeah.
Less
No.
spicy, more boozy.
I like
Have
the
you-
spice though.
Have you done label approval for that?
No, that one
Okay.
does not leave here. That one just
Uh-oh.
stays here.
Because we have a beer called Drunk Uncle,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and we won Martin House's Riverside Shootout in 2015,
Nice.
and they were like, we don't think that's going to pass TABC.
What? Oh,
So we're going to
my-
rename it, and they renamed it Holidays and Confused. But it was a
Oh yeah, I read
it was
that.
a Thanksgiving inspired Imperial Saison.
Yeah.
And so it was another.
Saison.
It was a definitely one that could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So it was like 10%
Ooh.
or more. And
Damn.
and it was
10% last time measure.
it had all of the Thanksgiving spices, and then was a Cabernet barrel aged
Oh.
beer. So
This guy loves his Cabernet.
yeah.
My wife.
What's your deathbed beer though?
My deathbed beer?
Yeah.
It's called Plants with No Names by Orpheus Brewing. It's a sour.
Orpheus.
Oh man, it's
You got to go to
So you're
Georgia
gonna
to
have heartburn
drink it.
on your.
it is
deathbed.
not heavy at all.
Georgia.
It is- all I know is it's a
Got to
sour.
go to Savannah.
We
you
all
gotta
went
go to
local.
Savannah. I know. Okay, so let's go local. All right, let me leave Georgia.
Make it easy on your family to get you this beer.
I know this, right?
Short notice.
I would have to say that right now, my deathbed beer, because I just
Love Street.
love the malt taste, is Lakewood's Vienna style lager.
Oh, the Vienna, not the Temptress.
No, the Vienna style lager.
Okay.
I
They
love
have
that.
more than one
lager.
beer.
They do. Yes, they do. They have more than one Temptress.
Yeah,
actually.
they do.
That's true, but their Vienna style lager, it just has such a malty, just
I don't think I had. You had. I think the last time I visited, you had some, but I don't think I had any of that.
it is good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love
it
a
lot.
Vienna. I love a
Yeah.
Vienna. Anyway.
Yeah. You know, and before my craft brew days, my favorite beer was a Vienna style lager. It was
Negro Modelo.
Negro Modelo from
Yeah.
what is that called?
Wait.
What was the brewery? Negro
Modelo.
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 Yeah.
No, but I didn't really.
Which is now it's Modelo Negra. Right?
Really? They changed it?
Yeah, they switched it up. Yeah, now the packaging says same great taste, different name.
I think they're
So
are they
generic.
owned by
So
or run by
dyslexic.
Constellation?
I'm not sure.
No, Modelo
Which
is part
is,
of Miller Coors.
Oh,
I thought.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
Pacifico and Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modelo is their own Miller course. Okay,
I think they're part of Miller Coors, just like
makes sense.
Blue Moon.
More rice.
Developed
Line and
part of
Kugels.
Constellation now?
No,
No.
Four
What?
Corners.
Line
Four
and
Corners.
Kugels.
Line and Kugels is distributed through Miller Coors. Same as Revolver is distributed through Miller Coors. I don't think that anything else is part of Miller Coors other than the
Have
distribution.
they not heard of Flood? No.
Maybe not. I don't know.
It's a distributor.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So, was that?
Needs more rice.
Have we missed? Have we
Needs
covered
more
all the questions?
No, yeah.
So we got deathbed beers. We talked about Fifth Element, unfortunately.
Also, Pulp Fiction.
There's a little Pulp Fiction in there. A little bit too much pulpy.
I love Pulp
I prefer
Fiction.
mine with. I just make it a linear story. Why do we have to go back and forth? Why do we start at the middle? And like, why don't we just start the movie at the beginning?
Pulp Fiction's the better artistic.
What about Reservoir Dogs? Reservoir Dogs is, well, I guess that's still not linear, but it's a bit.
What about Memento?
So that
Oh
stupid.
man,
What is that Facebook?
if you watch it like backwards,
Have y'all ever
which
seen
on
Mean Girls?
I wear pink every Wednesday. So, yeah. But
I haven't seen Mean Girls,
I'm
but
not
I
a-
do
I'm
have
not a big
quotes
fan,
from
she doesn't even go here.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
not Mean Girls. What is that other one with the cheerleaders? Bring It On.
I quoted.
We
I
already heard
quoted
you.
it earlier,
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
one of you quoted. It's already been brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that a lot. I say that a lot to Chance. But
That was
Awesome.
that was
Oh wow!
pre 2002. No.
Like totally freaked me out. I mean, right on.
I don't think so.
too much.
I like it.
I took it too far.
I don't think I could have.
Because Turtle, sure, I'm number one.
So we're gonna.
I was
do the
like
whole
telling
movie?
somebody about my name in high school. Like my nickname was Big Red because my last name is Red, R-E-D-D, and I was like, I'm still Big Red, and they were like, oh my god, I'm never talking to you again.
You don't need to talk to that person if they're. Yeah.
They're negative energy.
So
in
I'm
my
actually
life.
Yeah.
doing a 90s movie night with some girlfriends tonight.
Nice.
And Alyssa's obviously not invited.
My number one.
We're
though-
just gonna go home and watch I Love You, Man.
Yeah, no, I do love
Romantic.
that movie.
That's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Oh
I will
man,
say.
that's such a good movie. Like,
That
Made
and,
after 2002.
and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, it is.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall's good. It's no I Love You,
Jason
Man.
Segel
I just love
wrote
him.
that movie. Hey, do you understand?
Also, I love Mila Kunis. Like
Eh.
number
She's
one girl
perfect.
crush.
I used to. I
See,
used
my
to
number
like
one
a lot
girl crush
more,
is
but-
Rachel McAdams.
Regina. George.
Post Regina.
Oh, okay. So you like her like in that time traveler bullshit?
I don't. I love Rachel McAdams in the Notebook.
A lot of opinions. It just came out in that statement.
I hate all those movies where people time travel. Like I just cannot understand.
But
like
what about
the Lake
The Notebook?
House. I don't like.
No,
oh,
no,
well,
that
was not
no,
time travel.
That wasn't
They're
time
in the
travel. It was two
same-
different time things.
He's just telling a story.
They
That's all.
fall in love, and there's a mailbox, and it's. Like,
But it's
Wait, are you
different
talking
time
about
periods. It's
He said
fucking
The Lake House.
impossible.
Lake House?
Yeah.
Which is on
Ugh.
Netflix right
I
now.
hate that movie.
It's on my watch list. 'cause
No,
it's
got
probably
Keanu.
like,
I've never
yeah.
felt
I
so
know.
stressed
Outside
out in
Matrix,
my
Keanu.
whole life.
What? What about Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted's okay.
Keanu
It's
was just in
okay.
What
that.
about John Wick?
Oh
Wick
my
is
gosh,
okay.
those movies killed me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
But Keanu was just in that Destination
take
movie.
Keanu
He was
seriously.
like,
No, yeah, it's on Netflix
it's,
now.
no,
Yeah.
it's Amazon Prime only.
Oh, is it Amazon Prime?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
would
tried.
something. It just came out.
Either
out
way,
on, yeah.
it was awful. Don't bother.
Winona
what's
Ryder's.
awful?
Winona,
Destination Wedding.
yeah, it has Winona
Oh.
Ryder in it. It's, if she's not in Heathers, I don't know.
I'd Winona her rider.
That went weird places.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That didn't make
Poorly
sense.
executed
children,
weird
the
places.
children were not into it, and it's
18 and up.
so no. Okay, well, this is a good place to end this. Before Chance gets before he says something that he'll be arrested for. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a great time here at Rahr.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, drinking some well, do you say? Well, I guess it would be Paleta de Mango, not Paleta. Paleta
It's only one
sounds
L.
better.
There's only
It's
there's
only one L. So
Yeah.
you can't say payete.
Yeah, it just sounds better. No. So your mango beer with chili and winter warmer and angry Santa, all good beers, all great beers. I don't think I've ever had anything bad from Rahr.
They're all ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. We were going to
We work
buy
on the binary system here?
Zero or
One
one.
or zero.
So it's
So-
either you'll drink it or you won't drink
Yeah.
it. I'll drink them all. Angry Santa was my favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, so
that's
yeah,
tough for me.
yeah.
Cool.
A lot of people liked the Paleta. Okay. Half of people in our survey group like the Paleta.
A 4.
I don't know what's Paleta with you.
Is it half? Did you like Plata?
No, I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I
I
love
feel like
the
we're
mango.
at like a 3-to-1 ratio.
No,
here.
I mean, I was speaking favorite over the 3 beers that we
I'll
had.
always love winter warmer though.
Yeah.
My favorite beer was the Santa.
If only it were colder, so it would be like winter.
True.
Yeah.
True that.
It doesn't have to be winter to drink this one, though. Anyway, so yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks
Shout out
to
to
our
Funky
guests.
Picnic.
Yeah, Samantha, Sammy Joe from Funky Picnic, and Alyssa from Rahr, of course.
And both of them from the Pink Boots Society.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, we didn't discuss secret societies. What about Building 7? What Lizard Illuminati? We need answers. Anyway,
Next podcast.
Yes, when it's just me and Chance, we will discuss only conspiracy theories.
It'll be a secret podcast.
It is it'll be very secret.
You need a password to
Only we will
listen.
listen. No, you can't. Lizard Illuminati. Yeah. So this is Ross.
This is Chance.
This is Alyssa.
This is Sammy Joe.
And this has been the podcast.
This is the podcast.
3 Beers In is a proud member of the Hopped Up Network. Thanks for sticking around. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, TuneIn, and on the hoppedupnetwork.com. If you like what you heard, rate and review us on iTunes. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 3 Beers In Podcast, and check out our website, 3beersinpodcast.com. 3 beersinpodcast.com. You can find information about us and the show along with the links to all of our episodes and our really cool merchandise. While you're on our site, you can tell us what you like, what you don't like. And if you don't like us, then why the hell are you still here? You should have turned us off long ago. But if you're just going to listen to us anyway, then you should probably subscribe too. And if you would like a transcript of our podcast, write down everything that we just said.
There are 6 ducks out there, and they all want sun chips.
This is Brew Crime, a craft beer and true crime podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Beck, and we are your hosts.
On Brew Crime, we each take a true crime story and we pair it with a craft beer.
You can find our show on your favorite podcast apps. If you can't find it, contact us and we'll try to change that.
We can be found at www.brewcrime.com or on Twitter at brewcrime, and also on all the social media platforms for Pacific Beer Chat at Pacific Beer Chat. We can also be found at brewcrime at pacificbeerchat.com.
Join us as we discuss depraved killers, stupid criminals, and likely some completely unrelated tangents.
Cheers.
Cheers.